Hey everyone, this is Larry. Welcome back to Today I Feel Like. Today we're going to talk about Apple stuff because Apple had their keynote address earlier this morning and or this afternoon, depending on where you are in the country. And they had all kinds of new stuff that came out. There were 4 new iPhones, 2 new iPads, an Apple Watch, and some services that they talked about. So we're going to get into it today, and I'll show you what the new devices are, what some of the functionality is. We'll talk somewhat about pricing, and if anybody has questions about anything, we'll go over that too. So I'm gonna wait till a few people get in here, since it looks like I'm rolling with one person right now. So there we go. A couple more people are coming through. I like to see that. There we are. We have Nice to Nasty Lane in the building. I see you. Big ups to you. So yeah, we'll wait till let's get a few more people in here. And if you have any questions about what's going on, then what kind of stuff you have, any questions about Apple stuff, about the new iPhones, the new iPads, or anything, make sure you drop them in the comment section so I can see them and hopefully answer the questions. So we'll go over the new devices and see if we can answer any questions and help people pick out which one might be best for them if they're looking for a new iPhone or new iPad. So shout out to Myra Walters. She says, "Been a long time." It has been a long time. So it's good to see your name out there and see your thumbnail in the comments. So shout out to you. Big ups. I appreciate you coming through. And yeah, let's go ahead and just get started. So first of all, Apple came out with 4 new iPhones, and 2 of them are the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 mini. And so these are I have to be honest with you, they look really pretty fantastic, and I think for most people these are the phones to go with. And so let me go ahead and let me share my screen right quick so that we can check those out. And there we go. Let me get that up there. And yes, all right. So there we have it. So these are the phones right here. We can get an idea of the differences in the size. So this is going to be the iPhone 13 mini. This is going to be the iPhone 13. And the size differences, this is going to have a 5.4-inch screen, and the regular iPhone 13 is going to have a 6.1-inch screen. So let's go ahead and just take a quick look at that. And we'll see they're going to have some various colors there available. So you're going to have your red, your white, your black. I believe this is called, I think this is ocean blue or sky blue or something like that. I'm not sure what this one is right here, but let's see. Oh, they have it right down here. So it's going to be a product red, starlight, midnight blue, and pink. So I guess this is a pinkish color. So it doesn't look very pink in that color, but in that photo, but I guess it's going to be pink there. So there are some color options for you. And we can see there's going to be, this is a thing. This is one of those things with Apple. I think they just did some shenanigans right here. They have a new camera array, and I guess the cameras are a little bit different, but not much. But what they did was they changed them from a from a top down or one on top of the other lens to a diagonal setup. And I think they did that more so just as a visual differentiator between the old ones and the new ones. So yeah, but there's that. We also have, we can see some pictures because this one's now going to have a Super Retina XDR OLED display that is 20% brighter than before. So let me just come check and see if there's any questions in there. Let's see. We have Infinite Science in the building. I see you. Says, "I rarely catch you live, but I'm going to listen today." All right. Big ups to you. I see you, Infinite Science. Thank you for coming through. I see you. I appreciate you. So yeah, so let's keep going there. So this is, you can see there, I mean, the screen does look nice and vibrant. I've had iPhones for a long time. Their screens generally look pretty fantastic, and I imagine this one's going to be no different. We can see here also it says it has a new wide camera with 1.7 ohm pixels. That means it's going to have larger pixels. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a larger sensor, and it's going to have larger pixels on that sensor, which is going to make your low light photos and videos look that much better. So yeah, it says it's going to have the biggest sensor ever put in an iPhone dual camera system, and it's capable of gathering 47% more light in a scene. So that is fantastic. If you're ever out and you're filming your friends or family, or at a club or a bar, or just around the house, you have no idea what you're missing until you step up to a better camera. If you haven't been using the best cameras, when you go to those better cameras, you will be like, oh my God, what have I been missing? Because it's pretty fantastic. So here we have another photo here. This is from their wide angle camera. It features the sensor shift, which is going to be your optical image stabilization, so that you can take photos and video and with very slow shutter speeds and not end up with blurry images. So let's see here. We have another one. This is going to be their Smart HDR4 example here, so that you can see all the various colors that show up. You can see all the nice highlights and shadow areas are going to be properly exposed. That's what HDR does. HDR stands for high dynamic range, and basically it takes all of the various ranges from your brightest brights to your blackest blacks, and they make sure everything is exposed properly. So it's also going to have a new night mode in there, or a better night mode. So you can see it says the bigger sensor on the wide angle captures nearly 50% more light, which helps for taking even more impressive night shots. So yeah, they're going to have all kinds of cool features on here. And let me just come back to the comments section right quick. So we have Kevin Marsh saying, what's up? I see you, Kevin. Big ups to you, man. I appreciate you coming through and checking me out. I think Kevin, he won a prize in my 7 days of giveaway. And if that's so, I shipped those out. So you should be getting those soon. I think it was yesterday that I actually shipped those prizes out. So you should be getting those anytime, sometime this week, any day now. So let's see. Myra Walter says, what is the size comparison between the previous Pro versions? All right, there you go. Well, you know what? Let's do that. Let's go ahead. She asked, so let's skip ahead and go to the Pro version. So let me go ahead and jump over to the Pro versions right quick and check that out and show you. So the previous, the thing is, this model with the iPhone and the models are going to be pretty much the same. So, but let me show you what that's going to look like. So here we have it. So this is going to be the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max, and we can get an idea of what this is going to look like. And so let me just go ahead and click that so we can see more of the photos. And this right here is the regular Pro. Now, this is going to be a 6.1 inch screen, the smaller one, and this is going to be a 6.7 inch screen, I believe. So, and then we can come here. We'll see what else they give us in here for our photos. We can see there's going to be some various colors. Now, as far as your question, though, Myra, as far as what's going to be the size difference, as far as I know, it is the same size phone. For the Pro versus the Pro Max is going to be the same as this year as it was last year. So, so if you're okay with the size difference, I think if you're okay with either size, with the Pro or the Pro Max, I think you're going to be okay. Either way, because they're going to be the same size. But one of the actual key things that I really appreciate this year about the Pro is that you actually get the same exact feature set on the Pro as you do with the Pro Max. Now, last year when they came out with the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max, they offered. I have the 12 Pro Max here, and I bought the 12 Pro Max pretty much because they sort of stripped the camera down a little bit on the 12 Pro, and they didn't give it the optical image stabilization. I think they didn't have the faster aperture on the lenses for the 12 Pro, and they fixed that, and they went back to making the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max identical in their specs there. That was important to me because I wanted a smaller phone. This is a pretty big phone, and it's okay, but I actually already have a big phone because, well, I have the Galaxy Z Fold 3, and I didn't want a second big phone. I wanted a smaller phone, and I told myself if they didn't have the same feature set in the Pro as they do in the Pro Max, that I was actually going to skip the Pro series altogether, and I was going to go to the iPhone 13 mini. And I was fully going into this experience expecting I was going to get the iPhone 13 mini, but I decided to actually go with, I'm going to go with the Pro. It's not up for pre-order until Friday, but I'm going to go with the Pro, but not the Pro Max, because I don't want the larger phone this year. So, yeah. All right. Well, you can. We can see here you can get different colors. So it looks like they're going to have graphite, gold, silver, and oh, let's see, what do we have? I'm looking at, yeah, graphite. It's going to be graphite, gold, silver, and oh, and then yeah, Sierra blue. So they're just showing the Sierra blue one from 2 angles, the front and the back there. So this is a new color. Apparently they've had to do some new shenanigans to get that color there, but they have the Sierra blue, which looks pretty cool. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to get. I think I might either go for the Sierra blue or maybe the silver. I've had graphite ones before. I'm not a really big fan of the gold, but I do like the, for instance, this one I have the, I actually have the white phone on this, and I actually bought the white phone for a reason, and that is because when I'm filming myself, your eye is naturally drawn to the lightest or brightest place on your, in the scene. And so if you notice right there, when I'm filming myself with the back camera, the white around there shows through, and it's white. You can see it there. And so what that does is it makes my eye drawn right to the lens. So when I'm filming myself, I'm holding my camera, I'm looking right into the lens, and that really helps out. So, so yeah, I may end up getting the silver one, or I may go for the Sierra blue. So, all right, and you can see there we have, so they're showing the camera setup again. So they have a all new ultra wide camera with autofocus, which it also has a macro lens on there. That's the other thing that really sort of sealed the deal for me, is that I've wanted a macro lens on my camera phone for a long time. I have macro lens attachments that I've reviewed, and I'm super excited they actually have a macro lens on there now. That just makes it easy for me to do some really cool photography and some really cool detail shots when I'm doing reviews. They also have a new wide angle camera and new telephoto. So yeah, let's see here. They're just an example of what the low light capabilities are. So as we can see there, it looks pretty fantastic. We can see here that that the wide angle lens is going to give you 2 times more light, so that if any of you have an iPhone 12 or 11 or 12 or I'm sorry, the 11 Pro or the 12 Pro, you'll probably notice that when you go to that ultra wide angle lens, that it doesn't look as good. It's a slower lens. It just doesn't look as good as the main lens. It seems like they fixed that now, and you're going to get a better lens on the ultra wide angle. So, yeah. All right. It also says that with the pros, you're going to have a 1.9 pixel, whatever, I don't know how you pronounce that. But basically what they're saying is you're going to have a bigger sensor. You're going to have a bigger sensor with more pixels. So, all right, let me check these comments out again. And let's see here. We have Oztech 3000 says, hello, Larry. Hope all is good and nice to see you live. Thank you so much. It's good seeing you too. I appreciate that. And let's see, they said, which has a better camera, the Apple or the Samsung S20 Ultra? Well, I can say I don't have the S20 Ultra, but I do have the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. And I'm going to have to say that Apple has the better cameras. Now, the reason why I say that is for some people, when the Note 20 Ultra came out, and from my understanding, they have a similar camera module to the S20 Ultra, except they don't have that super zoom on there. I think the S20 goes up to has that space zoom that's like 100x or something, and the Note 20 Ultra only has a 10x. So, but the thing is that when the Note 20 Ultra came out, there were some people out there that were saying, "Oh, look at this! It has all this great bokeh," and I was like, that's not bokeh. When you see bokeh is like the blurred version of your background or your foreground to some extent, but it's when you see in the background of some photos and it's blurry back there, and you may see lights, and the lights are either circular or they may have some different shape to them depending on the lens. That's bokeh. What I see with my Note 20 Ultra is the edges of my photos are soft. Not only are they soft, but because of I'm assuming it's the lens and the algorithm that works it out, that the corners of my photos, they're always distorted. There's always a fair amount of barrel distortion, which causes the edges of your photo to be sort of rounded. So if you take a picture of a pole on the edge of your lens, that pole is going to look like it's bent, and that's because there's distortion in the lens. Apple does a really good job with software fixing that, and you can fix that with software. Part of it is you have good lenses, But the other part is also is that you can fix some of that in software. And I think Apple just does a better job of that than Samsung does. And so for that reason, and some others where I think with Apple's neural engine, where they have the I forgot what they call it. It's they have some sort of software algorithm. I forgot the name that they give it, but with their neural engine, basically it allows you to be able to shoot and just get better low light experiences. You're not getting as much grain. It's just that you're getting from what I've experienced, a better photo generally with the iPhones. Now, I have actually found that Samsung with the Galaxy Fold 3 have actually improved that algorithm a lot. And I have actually found that I enjoy shooting with my Galaxy Fold 3 more so right now than I am with my iPhone. Now, it doesn't have the same video quality, I don't think. I think the iPhone's still giving me much better video quality, but for photo-wise, I'm really enjoying shooting with my Galaxy Z Fold 3. So, I gave you a very long answer to a relatively short question, but I think that Apple's going to give you better cameras and better, for both photo and video than with the Samsung S20 Ultra. So, all right, let's see. Nice Nancy Lane says nice colors. Myra says I like the blue look. Yeah, it looks really nice. It does. Their stuff looks really, really nice. And so let's see, there's a couple more photos in here. They have, with the larger sensor, you're going to be able to do some night photography. So for those people that are into astrophotography, you can see that you're able to capture the stars and get some streaks. You're going to be able to do, again, they're talking about the sensor shift or the optical image stabilization for both photos and video, which I think is really nice. And then you have that smart HDR4 so that you can get. Now, I can tell you, as a photographer, and I've been shooting professionally for most of my life, in fact, I think the vast majority of my jobs have been behind the camera in one form or another. And this is a hard photo to capture right here. Like, unless you're lighting this up with some sort of artificial light, because you can see this guy here is, he's Asian, fair skin, white lady, fair skin. This black woman looks like she's probably fairly brown. She's not really light skinned, but she's sort of a brown caramel. This brother looks more dark skinned. And you can see that they all look properly exposed. And we have lots and lots of detail in the sky. You can see the clouds. We can see all that. You can see texture in their clothing. The only parts of this photo that look blown out are right through here. If you look through there, and it's unclear if that's blown out or if that's a cloud in there, because that could be a cloud in the background, because even the trees there is actually, you can actually see that the trees look like they're properly exposed. So, but the one way you can tell is when you see texture, like in this woman's sweater, you can see all that texture. Even here in this guy's linen pants, you can see there's texture in the pants and in his shirt. So their HDR is doing a really, really fantastic job there. Let's see, go to the next one. This here, they're talking about the ultra wide and low light. They're saying the new one's going to give you a 92% improvement in low light versus the old one. And this looks really fantastic. I mean, this is amazing. If I saw this photo, I would think this was taken with a full frame mirrorless camera or something. I wouldn't suspect this was taken with a cell phone, because this looks really, really good. Again, you can see here all that detail in there. That just, everything seems to work. The only thing that's getting lost is right through here. If you look through here, those blacks are really crushed. Like, you can see her shoe sort of starts to disappear, but it still does a great job. You can still see detail and ripples here in her socks. I mean, there's just a lot. That's not blown out. None of this is blown out. You look at the window's not blown out. There's just a lot. They did a really wonderful job of exposing it. The only part that really kind of, you start to see some of that up in there where the darks are really dark, but that's really probably how it should be. But you start to see but this is one thing I like too about when you start to see some of this, where things go black, is that there's a nice roll off, because you see some detail where the light is, and then as the light starts to fall off, it sort of happens gradually, and then it's gone into blackness. So, yeah. All right, I'm getting a little techie nerdy on you guys, but it is what it is. So. All right, look at that. We have Big Ben, VIP Tech from across the pond. He is in the building. I see you. So Big Ben is an Apple fan. I don't know if he watched the keynote. So Big Ben, you have to let me know if you watched the keynote address today. We are just going over some of the features of these new cameras, the new phones and the new cameras that are on there. So, yeah. Anyways, here we can see that there is a new telephoto, a new telephoto lens on here. This is a 77mm lens. Now, a 77mm lens is pretty good. They got so close because for most photographers will say that the prime focal length, the best focal length for portraiture is 85mm, and they're getting close. They're at 77. I think they could have done 85 if they wanted to, but maybe it was some technical limitation or something. I don't know, but I think they could have done 85 if they wanted to. 77 is really doggone close, and I think it's close enough that a lot of people are going to be really happy with it. But we can see here that this is just a really nice portrait. There's so much detail in here, from the flower, to all of the little texture in her face and the ripples in her lips, everything. There's, you can see all of the texture in her hair. It's just, they're doing a fantastic job. You can see individual eyelashes and eyebrows. It is a very, very detailed portrait right there. And that's amazing that it actually came from a cell phone. So, yeah. All right. Now, this is what got me really excited about this new phone and the camera, is that it actually has a macro mode on the ultra wide angle camera. And this is going to allow you to get really close up detailed shots. And this right here, as you can see, is the inside of a flower. And that is just this. Apparently this ultra wide angle lens will allow you to get up to 2 centimeters, I believe it is, so that you can get extremely close and extremely detailed shots. And this next one here, you can see how much detail is in there. This is a leaf, and you can just see all of that. It looks like it is a river system or something right there. It is absolutely amazing. So, yeah, I'm really excited to get that in hand and actually try it out. Now, one thing I did want to point out with the macro lens, you can see there's a lot of edge softness. It is not sharp all the way through. It looks like there's good center sharpness, but once you get off through the corners a little bit, not even to a little bit, there's like all of this you can see is just all soft. It's all that soft. This is all soft. But when you look right there in the center, you have a nice sharp image in the center, but everything else is going to be soft. And if we look at, we can see the same thing on this one. All of this is sort of blurred out because it's just softness. Now, this looks cool with the flower because it almost looks like an artistic decision, but that's just actually the lens not performing as well as it could. And then the same here. This looks very cool here because your eye is drawn right over here. But if you look here, all of this area is all soft. The water droplets over here are soft. The mushroom is soft, but all of this in the center of the frame is actually all in focus, which is what we would expect on some level. I'm not going to complain because it's a macro lens on a cell phone. So, all right. We can see the same thing here. It's sharp right up in here, and then it starts to get soft as we go out to the outer edges. So just be aware of that. If you're trying to shoot macro, if you're trying to do true macro photography and you need edge-to-edge sharpness, you're not going to get it with this lens. I can show you just from the examples that's not going to be possible. So, all right. And then they talk about graphics and gaming, and I don't do a lot of gaming on my phone, but there is apparently really wonderful graphics. They have the new 5-core GPU A15 Bionic chip, and one thing that's interesting is they did not make any comparisons to their previous A14 chip. They only talked about their comparisons between other competitors, which I just thought was really, really interesting, because what that tells me is that there's not much of a performance bump from the A15 to the A14, but from 14 to the 15. It sounds to me like they sort of just threw the 15 in there so they can say, hey, we put a new processor in there and that's warranting you buying a new phone. But they kept talking about how it was 30% faster compared to its competitors when it comes to gaming, or it's 50% faster when it comes to whatever else to its competitors. What they didn't say was how much faster it is compared to the previous model iPhone. And they've done that in the past before because there's been real improvements. Whereas I think with this, we're not really getting that. So, we're not getting that. I think we're just getting sort of probably just a very mild spec bump when it comes to the difference between the A14 and the A15. They just they didn't talk about it. They only talked about their competitors. And Apple, in large part, they've been their own competitors. They haven't really been competing against anybody else except themselves because they've been so far ahead of everyone else. So, yeah. All right. Let me see here. I'm gonna send a message right quick here to Big Ben, and let's see here. I'm gonna send him a message and see if he wants to come on. So there you go, Big Ben. I just sent you an invite if you want to come through. If you don't, it's all good, man. No worries. All right. Let me click out of that. And yeah. So the gaming on this thing, I don't think there's going to be any doubt that gaming on this phone is going to be absolutely fantastic, and I don't think you have to worry about that. They also talk about the new signal processor with the A15 Bionic for video. This is something that with the video that's going to be really, really interesting coming up is that I believe it's supposed to be later this year. They're supposed to have ProRes. I believe it's going to be ProRes, not ProRes RAW, but maybe. But they're supposed to have ProRes video coming to the iPhones. Now, that is going to be that's for a lot of people is going to be a game changer because ProRes is sort of the industry standard. Not sort of, it is. It's the industry standard when it comes to video codecs. People often shoot in whatever other sort of video format their cameras can shoot in, and then they convert it over to ProRes and they edit in ProRes because editing ProRes video files is way easier than trying to edit H.265 or something like that. And on top of that, even if people edit in a different format, they often output their final project in ProRes and deliver it in ProRes. So being able to shoot in ProRes and then edit in ProRes and then deliver in ProRes just streamlines the whole process. It makes everything easier. That means when you go and shoot videos with your iPhone and then you drop them into your video editor, there's no rendering. You don't have to worry about rendering your video out because it's already in ProRes. Oftentimes what happens is you shoot in like H.264, H.265 or Motion JPEG or Cinema DNG or whatever it is that you're shooting with, you bring it into your editor and then you render it into, you have to render it out and it renders into ProRes. Well, you don't have to do that if you're shooting natively in ProRes. So that's going to be a big deal. I'm looking forward to that. So let's see. Big Ben said I already ordered the Mini. Says, yeah, I was working all night, so I watched it. Big ups on that. Then he said, we'll order phone Friday off to sleep. All right, man. Well, big ups to you. Let's see. Tom McCann says, hello, Larry. How are you doing? I'm doing well. Shout out to you, man. I see you in the house. Oh, here we go. Big Ben, how are you, man?
What's happening, man? I'm all right. Just finished work a couple hours ago. Yeah, about 2 hours ago I finished work.
So Big Ben is looking like a wilderness man.
Yeah.
I should say, I guess it's not a wilderness because I guess in Australia it would be an outback man.
Yeah. Lockdown and COVID, yeah. Not going to go get a haircut.
No, I feel you on that. It's just not worth the risk. So you already ordered the Mini?
Yeah, I watched the event at 3 o'clock this morning while I was at work, and yeah, ordered the Mini.
I didn't realize the Minis were up for pre-order yet. I should probably have placed my order.
Yeah, both iPads they put up for pre-order straight away.
Oh right, you're talking about when you say the Mini, you're talking about the iPad.
Oh
Mini.
yeah. Sorry, the iPad.
Yeah.
Mini, yeah.
Sorry, so yeah. I saw that those were ordered right.
My Pro, and yeah, Friday morning we get it 10 a.m. So
nice.
I'll be getting a 12 Pro Max. No way am I buying the 1 terabyte though. 13 Pro Max, whatever.
Which version did you get? Which capacity?
So for the iPad Mini, I just got the 256, but for the phone, I'll be ordering probably 256 as well.
Yeah.
They want 2,700 Australian dollars for the 1 terabyte. Sorry.
Wait, how much?
2,700, I'm pretty sure. Hang on. Let me turn the Mac back on and have a look.
Wow. That is a little bit.
Yeah, it's just over $2,000 for the 256. So
that is that is quite a bit. So all right. Yeah, I don't know what it's here. Let me see, let me see if I can go to Apple right quick. And let me see if I can share my screen. We'll look it up together and see what the here we go. Let's see if we can find out what it is in the US. So if we go to, let's see, iPad and the new iPad mini. So it says it starts at $499. So that's probably for the basic, which is, I think the base model is like 64 gigs or something. So let's see, let's pick a random one, purple. So yeah, so 64 gigs is going to be $449, and that's with the cellular only. If you go to the 256, then you get what was that? 256 is going to be $599, and then if you add the cellular chip in there, that's going to be that was going to be, wait, look it up, hit that. It's going to be $749. And then let's see if we're going to say no engraving, and then we're going to go, should we add an Apple? Well, I already actually have an Apple Pencil. That was the good thing about the Mini is that the Apple Pencil works. They have the second generation one, which is the same one for the iPad Pros. So I don't actually need that. But if we grab a Smart Portfolio, and let's say we'll go ahead and add we'll add an orange one in there, and then if we add Apple Care, that's going to be let's see, we'll just add $55. Now, if I add all that to the bag, we are looking at $808. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me review my bag.
$979 just for the iPad mini. Wi-Fi, no engraving, no case, no pen, no Apple Care.
Hold on, let me get rid of all my other stuff in. Wait, so when you had all that stuff in there, that was with no Apple Care or nothing?
Oh, sorry. Okay, so 979 Australian is for the iPad mini. I'm talking about the iPhone.
Oh, the iPhone. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so 979 Australian, including taxes and whatever. We just include it. We don't have to do it separate. For the Wi-Fi only, no accessories, no Apple Care.
Okay.
The exchange rate's horrible. Yeah, it'll show you the pricing of the phone. I don't know if you can see on your end as well, but yeah.
Yeah, I think you can share it if you want to. I think if you hit the share button, I just have to go ahead and add it onto the screen.
Oh, yeah, I'm on the Mac, so yeah, it's fine.
Oh, okay. No, yeah.
I'm talking to you on my phone. I'm looking at the Mac in front of me.
Oh, it's all good. So yeah, I think the iPad mini looks pretty cool. I'll tell you, I was disappointed by one thing with it, and I was almost really excited about that iPad, and I thought that they were going to put the camera on the horizontal side of the tablet, because right now, just like the iPhones, you have the front face, the selfie camera on the top here. So if you're doing, if you have it in the horizontal position, and you're doing like a live stream or a Zoom call or something, if you're looking at the screen, it always looks like you're looking off to the side. And so if you have that camera in the middle part of it, whew, and that's for the iPhone Pro Max?
That's 1 terabyte.
The 1 terabyte.
13 Pro Max. Yeah, no.
So yeah, that was the thing. I was really hoping with the iPad mini that they were going to change that camera setup so that it was going to be, so that if you were doing a regular call and was in the vertical or the horizontal position, it would be lined up and it would be right in your eye, right in your eye line. Instead, they put it back off to the top of the iPad, and it means when you're live streaming or Zoom calling, you always have to look off to the side, and then you just look weird.
Yeah, it's all the center stage, so maybe it'll fix that. I don't know. Yeah,
center stage is cool where it helps you, it follows you when you move around, but it doesn't really do anything for your eye line.
Okay.
So that's one thing that's one thing I like about the Samsung tablets. When I use my, like, oftentimes if I'm doing a some sort of video call, like I did this morning, I had a doctor's appointment. I grabbed my Samsung phone because I can look right into the screen and it looks like I'm looking directly at the person I'm talking to, because the camera is right in the middle of the screen when it's in a when the tablet's in the horizontal position. So now if I was in a vertical position, then it would look weird because it would look like, again, like I'm off to the side. But I think most people would prefer to live stream or to Zoom in the horizontal position. So
yeah, makes sense.
All right, let's see what the iPhone 12 Pro or 13 Pro Max is going to cost here in the US. So let's see if we get the 13 Pro, and let's see. It's loading up. Let's click on view pricing. And so we're looking at $999 and $1099. So let's grab the 13 Pro Max. We'll go with the new one, the Sierra Blue. We'll hit the 1 terabyte, $15.99. Jeez. And we'll just choose the unlocked version, and we'll say, do we want to trade in anything? We'll say no for the moment. And we're going to get Apple Care. Should we do we'll do the Apple Care Plus with theft protection. We'll hit that. So that's going to be $269. So it looks like our total is going to be $1,868 for a phone.
That's crazy. You guys have it so
for
cheap.
A phone. And I just want to point out to people who were talking about the Galaxy Z Fold 3, and people were saying, "Oh, that's crazy. That phone is $17.99. That's crazy. It's so expensive." But when you add in all the different discounts that Samsung offers, you can get this phone for, I mean, I didn't even pay $1,000 for this phone. I think I paid total like $800 for the phone or something like that. So, I mean, it's crazy to think that the new iPhone is going to cost you the same amount as you would pay for. Oh, you still have it?
Yeah, I'm waiting for a return satchel, but yes, there it is.
Because of that front screen?
Yeah. It's so much smaller than I thought. It really is narrow.
Yeah. Are you going to try the Z Flip?
Probably. Well,
probably.
I'm just about to spend $3,000 on Apple products, so who knows? Maybe not.
Yeah, that's a nice chunk of change. So
I'm wondering, what are your guys' trade-in prices like? Because for the 12 Pro Max, they're offering $1,100, about $1,000 for it. It's about half the price of the phone.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? I don't even think I was sharing my last screen when I was doing all that stuff on there. Let me go back. I thought I was sharing. I don't think I was. Let me go and see if I can. Let's see. Let me hit
What's
share.
your opinion on the colors while you're doing that as well?
Huh?
I don't like the colors as much this year.
Yeah, the colors are relatively boring. I wish they would have done. I wish they had like a green and a purple and an orange on the Pro side.
On the Pro, I wish they had the blue that they had on the 12 original.
Yeah, because that was more like an electric blue, right?
Yeah, it was a much deeper blue. My mate got the mini.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's see if we trade something in. So we'll trade in a. Let's see if we hit trade. We'll select my model and I'll choose. Oh, look at that. See, they're only offering like the 12 Pro Max. They're saying up to $790. They were saying they would offer $1,000, but for what? What are they offering $1,000 for? Because when I look on all these, I don't see anything in here that's $1,000.
Yeah.
What I see is, yeah, like they were saying you can get up to $1,000 for the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and all I'm seeing is $790. And so let's say that I did that. Let's say I did that in, my phone's in good condition. Yes, everything works. And let's see. Is it on there? Did it take it? Yeah, it's not even showing it. But I mean, it would drop it down 790. So I mean, and it's at 868. So it's still gonna come out to around $1,100. Or it says it would be 1,078 after trade-in received. So that's still a very, very expensive phone. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they're not giving more. They said it was going to be up to 1,000. I don't know what devices they would have. So, well, I actually don't plan on getting the Pro Max this year. I'm going to get the Pro. And so if I leave that, I've decided I don't need the 1 terabyte, because on my 12 Pro Max right now, I checked it. I have a 512 right now, and I'm using 180 gigs of it. So I just don't need that. I don't need the extra. Now, if they come out with that ProRes video file, that may start taking up more space. But
Yeah. Definitely don't go to 128 then, because the ProRes only that.
It'll eat that alive.
It only goes up to 1080p.
The ProRes does?
Yeah, it's if you MKBHD did a tweet about it already. One of the video resolutions on the new one, it's instead of 4K 30, you get 1080 on the 128 gig model.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a little disappointing.
So, yeah.
So here's what the price. This is what it would end up costing. It would be around $1,568. It says it would be $778 after trade-in is received. So, yeah, that's one of those things. I would have to decide if I wanted to trade it in or if I wanted to try and sell it on the open market. Because I mean, I've only had this thing for a little bit. It's still a really good phone, and I mean, I could probably sell it for $1,100, maybe 1,000, 1,100, something like that. So it might be worth it to try and sell it to someone else versus trading it in.
But I have a lot of spare coin to be able to just trade it in. They just don't give you anything for it.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let me go. I was talking about the iPhones. I don't know if you have a few minutes here, but if you do, because you said you ordered the mini, right?
Yeah. Probably gonna.
All right. Let's go ahead. Let me pull up the mini.
Probably going to sell my Pro off. I just don't use it. I'm going to sell my iPad Pro. I don't use it.
Yeah. Let me pull this up, and we're gonna talk about that, because I'll be honest with you. I bought the So here we have it. Can you see that?
Yep.
There we go. All right. So everyone, this is the new iPad mini, and as you can see, it's small. It fits in your hand nicely. It's the same size as the other iPad minis, except they went with an supposedly edge-to-edge display, which is going to give you instead of a 7.9 inch, now it's going to be an 8.3 inch.
I'm still surprised it only went up that much, but yeah, 7.9,
yeah.
8.3.
And so they got rid of the home button on the screen, and now it's going to have the Touch ID, and everything's going to be with gestures and such, the way that you would with a iPhone, one of the new iPhones and the iPad Pros. And you can see there you can get various colors like space gray, pink, purple, and starlight. So they're going to have those options for you. Again, they're going to have the Touch ID that's going to actually be on the home button there, or the lock button, whichever one I guess it's not a home button, but the lock button and power button. And then, they're showing there, obviously, that you can still do stuff like video editing and all that great stuff. And it's going to have the A15 Bionic chip. So yeah, they're just showing off some of the apps that people can use with it. Apparently, they're going to have a new camera in there, which I don't really use it, but this to me, I think, is a big deal, that the fact that they added the USB-C on there that allows you to connect your cameras and other peripherals to the device. So, and it says on there, you can connect your camera and external storage and displays up to 4K. And you know, I'm sort of left with asking myself, besides the screen real estate, why do you need an iPad Pro?
120 hertz, I guess.
Is this one not gonna? Is it not gonna have it?
I don't. You can check the tech specs. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have the 120 hertz.
Let's see if we scroll down. Let's see if let's click out of the pictures. Let's see if we scroll down a bit. If it's going to tell us about the.
Did you notice they put the volume buttons on top as well with the power?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah. Because
yeah, there it is, right there. The volume buttons are right there at the top.
Yeah, because of the Apple Pencil support.
That is, yeah, because it has the magnets. You know, and it's probably a good place for it, because if people are holding the tablet like this, the last thing you want to do is constantly be hitting your volume rocker.
Yeah.
But you're right. I don't see anything on here yet about. I don't see anything on there. Oh, let's see. They do say it has the new liquid retina display, but it doesn't say anything about the refresh rate. It talks about 500 nits of brightness.
They have the tech specs link somewhere.
Say that one more time.
They normally have a tech spec somewhere.
Yeah, let's just scroll all the way to the bottom. Let's see if they have something on the bottom here. Let's see, pricing and availability. Well, we can see the pricing there, so it looks like it's going to start at $499 and then go up from there. Yeah, I don't see just a straight breakdown of the specs on here. But yeah, if it doesn't have that, because what does Apple call it? Apple calls it what, their True Motion or something like that?
ProMotion or something.
ProMotion, yeah. So maybe it doesn't. So maybe it's just going to be at like 60 hertz or something. You know. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see what it has. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, it seems like a really good choice, I think, for a lot of people, because the iPad Pro is expensive and there's just no getting around that. And it's sort of limited in for a lot of people, because the iPad Pro it's expensive for people, but it's also you have two choices. You have either you get the big one, which for a lot of people is just simply too large, or you can get the 11-inch, which is way more manageable, but it's still an expensive tablet. So I don't know. I think does the iPad Air, does that one have the USB-C, or does that one still have the Lightning port?
The Air, they didn't update the Air, so I think it still has Lightning.
Let's see here. See if we can find. Let's see the iPad. Where is the iPad Air? And let's see tech specs. Height, weight, yada yada.
I'm pretty sure it has just the.
Nope, USB-C connector. Look at that.
It does? Okay.
Yep. But one thing I don't know is if the.
I don't.
Well, it says magnetic connector, so maybe it works with the pencil too.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the I don't know if it has the same storage things as the Pro. I think that's where they limited it, with being able to put external storage.
Let's see here.
Or at least the super high speed one, because they had to differentiate it between that and the Pro.
Yeah. And this one has what, the A14. It's the camera stuff, video recording, shoots 4K. Yeah. FaceTime, video calling, audio speakers, microphone, cellular chips, SIM card. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm not seeing anything about. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think you might be right. Well, yeah, it says it has 64 and 256, so you're not going to get those capacities that the others have. So, yeah, it seems to me like this would probably be the next one to get upgraded then.
They're talking possibly if there's a October event, maybe, then that will get done with Max.
Were you guys actually able to see that? Oh no, I think I was off. Probably couldn't even see it. I was up there trying to scroll down so you can see it. Can you see that on there? No,
Yeah,
let me
it's
check
out there
and
now.
see. No, it's not on there. Hold on. Let me see if I can share it. Let's see, where did it go? Start sharing screen. When you get ready, if you have to go, man, let me know. I don't want to hold you too long. I know you're on the other side of the world and it's a different time. So,
oh man, it's weird to say it's 9:30 in the morning and I'm about to go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we look at the tech specs, so it looks like it does support the 2nd generation pencil, which is nice. It has USB-C, but it looks like it's only, well, it says it comes with a 20-watt USB-C adapter. I don't know if it charges faster or not, or if that's what you're going to get. But it does say that you have capacities of 64 and 256. And that's just, for a lot of people, that's just simply not enough, because if you're editing with this thing, or you're doing some other project and you have to bring in other assets, that you've shot maybe from your camera. Like sometimes when I go out and shoot, I have 256 and 512 gig cards, and I can run through a 256 card easily. And if I can't even dump my card on my iPad because I don't have enough storage, that becomes a bit of a problem. Yeah. So, but the Air still looks like a very nice tablet. I think, what does it start at? It starts at $549 for the 64 and $699. That's expensive. $700 for the 256. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not too bad, I guess. Let's see. Then you go $829 for the cellular. So, and then all right. I think if I was choosing between those, I might go with the Mini. I think I might go for the update with the Mini. So, look at that. We have Tim Windsor in the building. Showed up. He says, "What's up?" He says, "What's up, brother Larry?" And BIVP Tech. I see you in the house. Big Ben is a football aficionado. So for any of you that are out there that love watching football, if you're watching Sunday or Monday or Thursday, you could probably find Ben online talking somewhere on some crap. He might be on Facebook or something.
No, I don't know anything about. I know nothing about football. I'm trying to get you to watch the Australian, not the AFL, the rugby league. I know you said you didn't understand it, but I want to see you watch them take some actual hits.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I figured out a way to watch that channel. What is it? SBS something or the other?
Yeah, it's got soccer on it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's just like a public channel, like the TBS or whatever. PBS is your public broadcasting one or whatever.
PBS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sort of like PBS.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll figure out a way to watch some other stuff on there. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Bring this back up.
Well, that's the iPad Mini. So the iPad Mini looks pretty nice. I have to say, I was a little disappointed about the camera placement, but I think it's an okay. I think it's an okay device. I think it's fantastic probably for traveling if people are out there traveling a lot. I think it's a nice device to have in that sense. You can get an idea of what the different iPads are going to look like. So you have the iPad Mini here. This is going to be the iPad Air. Then you have the iPad Pro 11-inch and the iPad Pro 12.9-inch. And the 12.9-inch, as you can see, is just a monster and compared to everything else. And I mean, the iPad 12-inch makes the the iPad Mini look like a cell phone, So
yeah.
Oh, I didn't even show it. It wasn't even on the screen. Dang it.
No. All right, give me a minute. I'm going to change devices so I don't have to keep holding this phone. I'm going to grab my iPad.
Okay, no problem. So yeah. So let me see if I can get this on the screen for you again so that I can share this. So I keep on thinking I'm sharing it and I'm not sharing it. So let's see here. Where is the iPad mini at? Is it right here? Let's see. There we go. Let me see if I'm sharing that. All right, there we go. Yeah. So there we have it. We can see right here. We can see the iPad mini and in comparison to the other models. And you can see this is, so the first one is the iPad mini, and the next one is the iPad Air, and then we have the iPad Pro and the iPad Pro 12.9 inch. And I mean, as you can see, I mean, it just really is. It makes a huge difference. There's a lot. I mean, this is just a much bigger device. And I have the 12 Pro, the iPad Pro 12.9, and the new M1 11 inch, and that 11 inch is so much more manageable. Like I seriously think I'm going to trade in my my 12.9 when I probably buy a new Mac or something, because it's too big, and I like it. And for a long time I thought, oh, this isn't too bad, this isn't too big. But then after a while of holding it, and it's a little unruly. Now I think for a lot of people it may work for them if they're serious content creators, or somebody who's doing a lot of drawing or architecture or something like that. But because right now I don't edit with it all that often, I would love to have that iPad where I can edit with it and use it as like my main sort of computer when I'm traveling or doing something on the run. That would be fantastic. But because I can't, because we still don't have Final Cut Pro on the iPad Pros, and what is it? LumaFusion's working on updating their apps, but still there's no simple way to sync your audio. So you can't sync your audio, and you can't do like a true like multicam thing. So it can't be my main computer right now. So, all right, let me go ahead and get out of that. And I think right here, this is the one some people, let me see if I can get this up on my screen. There are a lot of people here that are not wanting to spend a ton of money. And this right here is what Apple says is their most popular iPad. And this is the 10.2 inch iPad. This is with the A13 Bionic, and they added Center Stage. And Center Stage is cool if you haven't seen it. What it does is when you're using the front-facing camera, it tracks you. So if you're in the background and you're like doing a tutorial or something, you're showing people how to do some cooking, it will actually follow you around the kitchen, because that's a very wide-angle lens, and it sort of zooms in on you a little bit, and then it pulls back as needed and tracks you. If its second person comes into the frame, it will actually track you. So it's very cool in that respect. So, but we can see here that it's going to use the Apple Pencil as well, except it's going to use the first generation Apple Pencil, which means this is going to have a Lightning port and not a USB-C port, because the Apple Pencil first generation actually charges via the Lightning port on your tablet there. So, but you can see, and you can kind of see what it looks like here. It's going to have the thumbprint reader there, the home button there. So it's sort of like the old school one, except it's new. And so, yeah, we can see right there, it's going to use the Apple Pencil first generation. It is still going to use the newer iOS, so that you're going to, iPad OS. So you're still going to get a lot of the same functionality. And it looks like, as far as capacity, it looks like you're going to get, I believe it's going to be 64 or 256. So it used to be, I believe it was like 32 and 128. So I think they've doubled it basically on the low end and the high end. So, yeah. So there's more about, just some of what it can bring with iPad OS 15, and just more of the software stuff. So, and that's going to be, I believe that is FaceTime, where you can actually have a big FaceTime call and have multiple people on there. So, yeah. All right, that is the iPad. We only have one last thing really to talk about, and that is the Apple Watch there. And let me go ahead and bring Big Ben back in here. So, all right, I just went over the 10.2 inch iPad, which for me is sort of a nothing burger,
Yeah, it's for kids or school. It's handy for that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
It's the budget entry level.
it is, and I mean, it's nice in the sense that it's inexpensive, and so I should have brought the price up on there. I didn't, so let me bring it up right quick so that people can see it, because it is a very inexpensive iPad. For those who don't want to spend a fortune on it, it starts at we can see here. Let's see, get this thing to load up. It starts at $329. Yeah. So if you're looking for something that's going to have really good performance, I mean, this thing is going to perform better than probably every other tablet out on the market, except for other iPads. But it's a pretty fantastic. I mean, it's going to be pretty fantastic. I mean, it uses the A13 Bionic chip. It's an older chip, but it's one of the chips that was in the other iPads. I mean, my iPad Pro 2020 has what does it have? The A14 chip in there. So it's not like it's that far behind. Let me scroll all the way to the bottom. We can see what some more of the pricing is. I think they put all that stuff down towards the bottom. So, yeah, so it looks like the Wi-Fi models are going to start at $329. The cellular models are going to start at $459. And they've upped the price on these a bit, because it used to be that the cellular models were $100 more, and they've now gone to $130 more, or $130 more. So, but they have doubled the storage capacity on the low end and high end, because you can see there that you're going to get the 64 gigs starting, and you're also going to get the 256 gig. And I believe it used to be 32 and 128 for the low end. So, yeah. All right. Let's go to the last thing here we have to talk about, Big Ben, and that is the Apple Watch. Yeah. So let me go ahead and pull up the Apple Watch. Right. Let's see, where is that at? Let's bring that up, because this was sort of a I don't know, man. I'm going to let you tell me what you think about it, because I kind of felt like this was a disappointment as far as the announcement of it, because they didn't really talk about it a whole lot. No, and I mean, they showed some cool little videos, but they didn't do. I should say, and talk about. They didn't do anything with it. No, it's like, here it is. This is the new Apple Watch. But go ahead, tell the folks what you think. What you heard. Tell them what you think about it.
Well, from what I've seen and heard so far, it doesn't look like they upgraded the internals at all. So it's still got the same as the old model. No new sensors, no new anything, just a bigger screen. And it charges faster.
Yeah.
That's it.
That is that's basically what I've gotten right there. It says the Apple Watch 7, they said, is nearly 20% larger. The screen is nearly 20% larger than the 6, and they said it's over 50% larger than the 3. So you can see here the differences and the display size, and it does look considerably bigger. But the thing that just really disappointed me with this is they didn't improve the battery life. Like, I get it. They added a little QWERTY keyboard so you can swipe on there. They had to do that because Samsung just came out with their Galaxy Watch 4 that has a swipe keyboard on there. They still have the crown and all that stuff. I mean, everything is basically the same. And they didn't. I mean, I was really disappointed. I really wanted to see better battery life. All of this other stuff, it's nothing. It's just software. It's stuff that it's stuff that you're going to be able to get anyways on the iPhone. I mean, on the Apple Watch 6 or the 5. I mean, they're going to upgrade all of the watches so that they're going to get most of this stuff anyways, if not all of it. So,
no text.
But whenever they start talking about all-day battery life, all they're really saying is that they're not improving the battery life at all. So, and for those of you who don't know, the Apple Watch is spec'd for, what is it, 18 hours?
Yeah, they said 18 hours.
18 hours. And so now a lot of people will say, I get more, a lot of people say they get more battery out of it. And you can if you're not really doing anything with it. If you're just using it to quickly check your messages, or you're using it to set a timer here and there. But if you decide, like they're showing all these people out there in these ads, they're showing them all working out where they're going for runs, they're going for rides, on their bikes, they're swimming. People that are out there running long distance, some of these people run for, an hour, 2, 3 hours at a time. People who are on bike rides, they go out there and they'll ride for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours again at the same time. I can tell you right now, if you have your GPS on your watch so that you can track your GPS, and which is what they actually are showing people doing when they're tracking all their routes and everything, and then you have your continuous heart rate monitor on, you're not going to be able to wake up in the morning, go to work, come back, go for a ride for an hour or two with your GPS and everything on, and then come home and go to sleep with your watch on and track your sleeping. You can't do it, because by the time you get done with all that exercise, you're going to come back and find your watch is going to be at like 12% or something.
The thing I'm keen to see is they were saying that, was it 15? I think they said 15 minutes will get you 8 hours of sleep tracking.
They said 15 minutes will get you 8 hours of sleep tracking?
I think it was about that, yeah. And it was, what was it, 44 minutes, 0 to 80%.
Okay. I mean, if that's what they say is going to happen, I am looking forward to trying that out, because I can tell you right now, there has been plenty of times where I've been ready to go to sleep. I looked at my watch and I was like, dang, my watch is at like 30% or something. I know it's going to die on me in the middle of the night. And so I do one of two things. I put it on the charger and then go to sleep, and then I don't track my sleep. Or I put it on the charger and then I say, okay, I'm going to wait till it gets charged up enough that I can go ahead and wear it. And then I start watching TV or something, or I call this crazy giant that lives across in Australia that's up at the hours that no one else is. Well, for him, when I'm up in the middle of the night, it's the middle of the day for him. So then we start talking, and then I'm not tired anymore because I've got my second wind, and so now my watch is charged, but so am I, and I don't sleep. So.
When you say,
oh, wait a minute, you can't hear you now.
Oh, I was saying I was about to go to sleep just as you messaged me.
Nope.
So
I guess we do it to each other.
Whatever.
So
yeah, no, look, I'm probably going to grab it because I've still got a 4, and it's definitely starting to wear out.
Right.
It's definitely showing its age. It's a bit scratched up. I'm still tossing up if I get the LTE model again. As I said to you before, I think I've used it 3 times in 3 years.
Right.
And I'm never without my phone. And look, it's really not going to be that often that you're going to need it. But sure, emergency, you need it. But
right.
I can't see the value in it.
I'm in the same place because I have the LTE model right now. I have the 5. I have the 5, and I have the LTE model. And I really tried to say I was going to use it because, as you know, I carry both an iPhone and an Android phone. And my original thought was, I'm going to get the LTE version of the Apple Watch, and I'm going to leave my iPhone at home. And I'm going to carry my Android phone most of the time. And if anybody needs to reach me, for a phone call or something, then they can just do so with my, they can do so and the call will come through on my watch. What I've found is that the experience is not nearly as reliable as they make it out to be. Like, I get calls on my phone and then they just don't come through. They don't pass through to my watch when I'm out and about. Or I get messages, but they don't come through. I get home and I have a ton of messages on my phone. They never came through to my watch. So what happens is I just end up taking my phone with me everywhere. And with that being the case, why have the LTE?
Yeah.
So
the only weird thing I'm having with mine is my AirPods keep bouncing between devices, no matter what I'm doing. So I'll be trying to make a phone call and I'll jump onto my iPad or onto the Mac,
Right.
And then I've had it before where my work calls normally meant to come through my headphones. I've taken my AirPods out, put them on the table, not in the case, and I missed a call because audio routed through the AirPods. And
right.
that's not good.
That is not
And
good.
speaking of watches, I've opened this, compared it. I never even used it.
Oh, really?
No, didn't even bother.
Oh, man. When do you have to send it back?
I'm waiting for a return back.
Okay.
But
Now,
the mail's
I'll admit,
ridiculously long.
I have them both. I've been wearing them both, and I have not I've not maxed out my watch 4 yet. I really need to get this thing set up so it's fully doing everything I want it to do. But so far from the way I've used it and what I've used it, I like it better. And one thing is, both of these are supposed to be 44 millimeters, except the Samsung watch just looks like the face looks bigger to me. It looks like there's more real estate, and it's like everything feels bigger on the face of it, but the watch doesn't feel bigger. But this is a 44 millimeter watch, and so is my Apple Watch. So
how do you find getting text on there? Is it cut off, or what's the?
No, the text seem to come through. Like when I get a message or something that comes through, it comes, and I can just, if it is cut off a little bit, I can just use the touchscreen and scroll down a little bit and read the whole message if I want.
Having it in a circle instead of a square, how's that? Does it look
No,
weird?
it's fine, because the area that you actually see is in the center here, so it sort of is like blocked out anyway. So it comes through, and you'll get the message. Let's see if I can. So let's see if I can get one. So like there's a message there. Oops. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to let me do it because of the angle, but let's see. Yeah, I don't think it's going to let me do it because of the angle. But if I do it, if I scroll down, it gives me plenty of info, and then I can see most of the message. But if it's a long message or something, it'll say show on the phone, and then I can just click on it, and it'll open it up on the phone, and then I can actually see what the message is, and it'll open up whatever app is on there. So I just clicked a YouTube comment, and it just opened up my YouTube Studio app. So yeah,
that's actually a pretty good feature that the Apple Watch doesn't have.
Yeah. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Actually, I suspect that I'll be keeping this and wearing it on the regular basis. Generally, if I do another watch review, I usually will take my Apple Watch off and then wear that second watch. I usually will leave the Apple Watch on and then wear a second watch. But I think what I'm going to do is because I have two of them, if I have to do a watch review, I'll probably take my Apple Watch off and then use my Galaxy Watch as my main watch, because I just like it better. I like it. It's easier for me to see it. The numbers and everything are bigger. It's just easier for me to actually see everything on it, at a glance. Yeah. So I like that. So. All right. Well, that was it. I don't really, they talked about, they did talk about the Apple Fitness, which, to be honest with you, I just don't really care about. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that do, and there's some cool features on there that you can use with your phone or your tablet or your Apple TV. They added some stuff in there, like all the stuff is going to be subtitled now in different languages. It's going to be available. I think right now it's in 6 countries. It's going to be available in 16 or something like that shortly. So there's some cool stuff in there. It's just not really for me. And I found when I was looking at the whole service, I thought it was still, the Fitness Plus by itself isn't too bad. It's like $9.99, but let's see. The Fitness Plus is available prescription service for $9.99 per month or $79 per year, which isn't bad. But then they have this whole other service, which is like everything together. It says the Fitness Plus One Premier Plan, which gives you Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, Apple News, and 2 terabytes of cloud storage for $29.99 a month. And I probably should look into this and see if it makes sense for me, because I actually pay for the 2 terabytes of cloud storage, and I pay for Apple Music and the Apple TV. Well, no, I get the Apple TV Plus service free now. But So I'm paying for the cloud service and Apple Plus, Apple Music, and I just stopped paying for the Apple TV Plus. So maybe it doesn't make sense. I don't get Apple News anymore. I had a 6-month subscription. I let it go. So it probably still doesn't make sense for me to get this. But maybe if I was paying for the music, Apple TV Plus, and the cloud storage, then maybe it might make sense to go ahead and get the fitness. But right now, $10 a month. I mean, I get the Peloton app for like $12 a month, and I think it's better. I've tried the Fitness Plus, and I find the Peloton stuff is just better. So
yeah, I was going to ask if you tried. I hadn't bothered trying it. I know I've got a free trial from getting a watch and things like that.
yeah. So, all right, man. Well, I'm going to get out of here. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody out there who came through and stuck with me and watched and talked about some Apple stuff. It's been fun. It looks like they are going to have some cool products that are out there coming out real soon. I believe, like Big Ben said, he actually pre-ordered his iPad mini. I believe the 10.2 inch and the iPad mini are available for pre-order now, and they come available on September 24th.
Yeah, that's when
23rd?
mine's saying it's delivering.
Yeah.
Well,
and
it might be different for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Generally, what happens is when you pre-order them, they usually deliver them a little bit early. Sometimes if you pre-order, they will deliver. I've heard people having their stuff delivered up to a week early, but usually they come about a day or two early. And oftentimes, when it happens because you'll start to see YouTubers that are posting their videos, their unboxing videos early. Now, I'm not talking about the big YouTubers like iJustine and Marcus Brownlee and Unbox Therapy. All those people are going to get their stuff. They'll get their products way early, their review units. But the regular retail products, those sometimes will come. Sometimes, I've seen it up to a week early, but sometimes it'll be, a couple of days. So if they say the 24th, expect the 24th, but maybe you get it on the 21st or the 22nd or something. So yeah. And then the Apple, the iPhones, both the 13 mini, the 13 mini, well, basically all the iPhones are pre-order, will come up for pre-order on Friday. I think it's at like midnight Pacific time here in the US, which is about 3 a.m. On the East Coast. So, be up if you want to order. Cause I mean, if we all know how Apple stuff goes, man, if you're not up at 3 a.m., you may not get your phone for another 2 weeks.
I don't get how you guys have it so bad to be still midnight, 3 a.m. Like for the last, I can't even remember how many years, it's been sort of 5 p.m. on a Friday here, or even this year it's 10 a.m. on Friday. So,
yeah,
middle of the day.
Yeah, I wish they would do it in the middle of the day, but they do it like usually right at midnight on Pacific time. And then that's 3 a.m. here. So people are up waiting and they're up there just hitting refresh. And I feel like the last time it wasn't, I don't know if it was as bad or not as last time, because I didn't pre-order the 12 Pro or Pro Max last time because I wasn't even going to get it. I was holding out for the 13. I only got the 12 Pro Max because a buddy of mine wanted to buy my 11. So I sold it to him and got the 12 Pro Max. But otherwise, I was going to wait until the 13 came out. So, but
I really don't think they were that popular.
Yeah. And even now I'm still debating. I'm seriously debating about getting the Pro or getting the Mini. Because I'm still leaning towards the Mini a bit because of the pricing. I'm kind of like, well, I can just get the Mini and I already have a big phone. I don't need two big phones, Yeah, so
point. The reason I'm looking at the Pro is the 120 hertz. After playing with that phone, the Samsung, for 5 minutes with the 120 hertz. Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to my wife about that today. I told her, I said, most people don't realize that they are missing 120 hertz until they have it. And then they're like, oh, I'm not going back. I want 120 hertz. And I was like, some people get it when they have the iPad Pros because it also has 120 hertz. But I was like, once you experience it, you just don't want to go backwards. So, yeah. All right, everybody, we are out of here. It's been fun. Thank you so much for coming through. Sort of a random off, just off schedule, live stream, but I felt like I wanted to get up there and talk to you guys about it and go over some of this stuff. I know I was getting some comments in the comment sections about the different iPhones, and asking, people were curious about what some of the specs were and what they should get, and so I just wanted to touch on that. And yeah, so anyways, thank you so much. It's been real. And until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. Peace.
Peace.